Hello and welcome back to my channel where I teach the New Testament mnemonics with Spanish vocabulary and sacred art. So today's word is the chief priests, principales, sacerdotes. This is the fourth word or words from the New Testament, the Gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 2. So with this style of teaching, I personally feel that what you're learning has to be in context with the gospel. So in this particular mnemonic, the gospel is, if you can imagine, if you look at the imagery, this is, by the way, a beautiful piece of artwork by James Tissot, and it is called "The Chief Priests Take Counsel Together." So, if you have a look at this artwork, okay, now imagine a grand scene in ancient Jerusalem. Okay, so in the majestic temple, a group of chief priests, the sacerdotes, stand solemnly. They're clad in ornate robes. They bear the weight of centuries of tradition. So these men are not just religious leaders, they are sacred authorities, and they are entrusted with guiding the spiritual life of the people. So if you remember going back to my YouTube with the Gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 1, we did speak about baby Jesus and his lineage. So lineage is very important. So the chief priests, their lineage actually traces back to the tribe of Levi, which is one of the older tribes of Israel. So this lineage heritage grants them the authority to serve in the temple. So they are actually descendants from older tribes. So daily they engage with the eternal readings, the sacred scriptures that have been handed down through generations. So their role is to explain scripture, interpreting the laws and prophecies to the people, ensuring that that the teachings remain alive and relevant. So in Matthew chapter 2, when King Herod seeks knowledge about the birthplace of the Messiah, baby Jesus, he turns to these very sacerdotes. Okay, so they basically confer with each other, they discuss scripture, and they provide insight, showcasing their deep connection to the sacred text and their role as intermediaries between the divine and the people. So that gospel, that explanation of the chief priest from the New Testament, the narrative encapsulates the essence of this actual mnemonic. Okay, so the mnemonic now, principles is very similar, principales is very similar to the English for principles. All we're doing is adding an e before the s, principales. Now, sacerdotes, it's a little bit, obviously a little bit longer, but if you remember the artwork, James Tissot's artwork, and the gospel about these chief priests, who they actually are and what they're actually doing. So they're sacred authorities connected to eternal readings, and they are descended from older tribes explaining scripture. So if you take each of the letters, SA, sacred authorities, CER, connected to external readings, DOT, descended from older tribes, and the E and the S explaining scripture, you get the word sacerdotes. So if you enjoy this type of learning, visual learning, show me some light. Most of all, education should be fun. So enjoy.